Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on the estate bracelet. And this bracelet goes with the earrings that I just posted a video for. And I have a ring coming up. So this is what it looks like. Really pretty. Looks very pretty on. Here, I'll wrap it around for you like that. Really nice. Very nicely weighted. Just the same component that we've used in the earrings. I've connected it with bicones and pearls. And just a fun bezel to do, not a stressful long bezel, really quick. For those of you who've already done the earrings, you know how quick it is to make it. So making 6 of them is not really a big deal. It may seem like it, but it isn't. And the whole bracelet itself is not a difficult one. I try to make my videos as doable as possible for just about everyone. So, you know, not complicated, but looks really complicated, I think. Anyway, I'm going to, clear this off and we're going to get started, but a couple things before I do. One, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my channel and ring the bell, and you will get notified when I upload. Also, at the end of every video, I have my face is on the screen, as well as other links to other pieces that I've made. If you just click my face, it'll take you to the subscribe, and you can subscribe right there. And if you click any of those other links, it will take you to that particular item that is shown on the little thumbnail there. Also, one other thing, a lot of you have been asking me about the rings I wear during other videos, and while I try to link them below, I often forget, obviously. So just for those of you who don't know it, on my channel, if you look up there, there's a playlist button, and if you just click on that, it will take you to all my playlists. And I have a ring playlist, a bracelet playlist, interlace playlist, necklace, you name it, playlist. All the boxes have their own playlists with all the pieces I've made using those. So don't forget to check those out if you haven't. That way, if you leave me a comment saying, Stephanie, where do I find that ring? And I don't get back to it for 2 days, I don't want you to get mad at me. So click on the playlist. If I don't get back to you right away, just click on the playlist and you will find whatever I'm wearing or whatever you're looking for. So just want to let you know that, just because sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back to the comments. All right, so I'm going to clear this off and we're going to get started. Let's get materials. Let's going. So you'll need several of the 12mm square Rivolis or cushion cut fancy stone. It's the same number. I'll put in the description box below the video along with everything else, websites, everything, colors, shapes, sizes, you name it. So you'll need several of those. I used 6 for my 7-inch bracelet. Okay, my clasp was 1 inch. You'll need some 11/0 Delicas, 15/0 seed beads, 11/0 seed beads, 3mm bicone, a 2mm Firepolished bead. I have a 5mm pearl. If you absolutely don't want to get the 5mm, but I think you should have some in your stash, you can use a 6mm. We'll just have to adjust it a little bit. I have a toggle and loop clasp here, stop bead. I have a size 11 beading needle. You might need a 12 as well. And I have some 8-pound Fireline. I think that's about it. I'm looking to make sure. Yeah, we're good. Don't forget to check, again, the description box below the video, because that's where I put everything I might have forgotten or any other info that I want to give you. Like I said, all sizes, shapes, colors, you name it, everything is down there. Okay, so I'm going to clear this off and we're going to get started. Okay, we're back. So thread your needle with about 3 feet of thread. Put on a stop bead around halfway through. So you have half your thread coming on one side of the stop bead and half your thread coming out of the other side of the stop bead. So I put on my needle and I'm going to drop down to my stop bead 5 of my 11/0 Delicas and 4 15/0 seed beads. And I'm going to do that 4 times each. So I have 4 groups of the 11/0 Delicas, and I have 4 groups of the 15/0 seed beads. I'm going to drop those down like that. Sew them into a circle. I'm going to sew up the first Delica after my stop bead. That's what it looks like. So now I'm going to pick up a Delica and I'm going to do a little peyote. I'm exiting this Delica right here. I'm going to skip this one and sew through the next one. just going to hold it with my thumb for a second and pull. And when I do that, it should pop that Delica on top of the previous one. Pick up a Delica, skip, so you're exiting this one, skip the next one, sew through the following one. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm exiting the Delica, I'm going to skip this 15-0 and sew through the next two. Make sure that pops up. I'm going to pick up a 15-0. Exiting this 15-0, I'm going to skip the next one and sew through the Delica. So just going to do that all the way around. Pick up a Delica, exiting this Delica, skip this one, sew through the next one. Pick up a Delica, exiting this guy, skip the next one, sew through the following one. Pick up a 15-0, exiting the Delica, skip the next 15-0 and sew through the following two 15-0s. Pick up a 15-0, exiting this 15-0, skip the next one, sew through the next Delica. Alright, so you're going to just do that all the way around. And then meet me back here at the end and we'll step up. Okay, coming down to the end, so I'm exiting this Delica. I'm going to skip this 15-0 and sew through the middle two 15-0s. Pick up a 15-0. You're going to skip this 15-0, so we're exiting this one, skip this one, and you're going to sew through this Delica and the one on the diagonal. I'll just leave that there for a minute for those of you who haven't done this yet. That's our step up. Now we're ready to put some more beads on. So I'm going to pick up a Delica. I'm going to sew through every sticking out bead. 1, 2 here. And then you're going to pick up a 15-0 and put it in the corner. So you're exiting here, sew through this one. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next one. And you could put your thumb in it a little bit and just give it a little pull. It's going to start to curve a little bit, but you don't have to pull it tight at this point. Pick up a Delica, Delica, 15-0 in between the two 15-0s. And then continue with the Delicas and do the same thing all the way around. And then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, coming to the end. So here I'm exiting this 15-0. Just going to place my 15-0 right here. Then now you have to add one more Delica. So I'm picking up a Delica and I'm going to sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. Right there. And I'm giving it just a little pull, not super tight. All right, now I'm going to switch to the other side. So we're working on the back right now. So I'm going to switch to my other side. This is the front. And so I've threaded a needle. I just use 2 needles, or just, switch your needle to the front. So you'll be exiting a Delica here on the front. So it's this one right here. So you just want to move your thread to the front of the bezel. So you have to move it over, and you're going to move through this 15-0 right here. Okay, you just want to get to the front, so the top, so you can do some beading. Now I'm going to add a 15-0 in between each up bead. So 15-0 through this 15-0, 15-0 through the next Delica, 15-0 through the next Delica, and so on. So you're going to do that all the way around, adding all 15-0s all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm coming down to the end, so I'm just going to add 15-0 here, and then we're going to step up. So 15-0. It's a kind of a corner step up, so you're going to step up through this 15-0. Just get my needle in there, and this 15-0. So the 15-0 and the 15-0 on the diagonal, like that. And that's going to complete that round on the front. All right, so get that done, and then come on back and we'll continue. Here we're back. So let's put the stone in. So I'm going back to my other thread, so the back of the bezel. So when I put the stone in, I'm going to put it face down. Make sure my corners are set nicely. So this is the back. This is the front. It's not going to stay, but I just wanted to give you a look. Come here, you. Okay. And we have more beading to do on the front, so we'll get to that in a minute. So here, I'm just going to hold it like this. I'm on the back, so that's the other thread again. And I'm going to add a 15-0. And so through each up bead. So through this Delica, through this next 15-0, and so on, through the next Delica, just hold it with your thumb and forefinger, through the next Delica, and just keep going around. Like that. Okay, so do that, and then meet me at the end and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the end, I'm turning this corner, putting on a 15-0, another one, another 15-0, and we're going to step up. So here we're exiting this Delica, we're going to sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. Okay, just like that. Okay, and we can continue on this side by adding, picking up a 15-0. We're exiting this 15-0. We're going to sew through this one and the other one in the corner, right here, just to bring the bezel in a little bit on the back. And then we're going to continue with 15-0s around until we get to the next corner. That's going to pull it in. Another one, and this one's going to go through this 15-0 and the one in the corner, or the next one. See how that pulls it in? So just do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, coming down to the end. So I've added this 15-0, exiting this one, going to sew through this 15-0 and the one on the diagonal. And that pretty much completes this side. You can go around one more time if you like, but I don't think you have to at this point. So I'm just going to sew through the next 15-0 on the diagonal, the next one on the diagonal. I'm going to hit another one on the diagonal until I get to these Delicas. I'm going to sew through a couple on the diagonal. You can leave this thread right now. You can use it later. So I'm going to stop for a second, let you get that done, and then we'll work on the front. Okay, so we're back, and I want to do this little decorative front on it like that. So What I want to do is move my thread. So I'm exiting a 15-0 in the corner here. So I want to move my thread so I can put some beads here and here. So all I'm going to do is just, without any beads, I'm just going to sew through this bead on the diagonal and through this one. And then I'm going to add a 15-0 right here. And another one through the next 15-0, like that. Now I'm going to work my way over to these beads right here so I can put a bead here and here. So I have to do the same thing I did before, I just have to move my thread. So just sewing on the diagonal on this one, and then you can actually sew through these two right here, through this one, just moving the thread, and then up through this one. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0. Going to do that all the way around, then meet me back here at the end and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the end, putting on my last couple of beads of this round. Sew through this one and this one. And that's what I have at the moment. So now we're going to continue one more round to get these last 4 beads in. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you look on the side, oh, that's mine. Okay, thought I missed a thread there. It was just my other side. Okay, so here, so if you notice, we just need one more bead here on each side. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is just move our thread until we're coming out of this bead so I can put a bead right here. So doing the same thing, just moving through all the beads. So on this one I'm sewing through the next bead on the diagonal, and if you need to switch to a size 12 beading needle, definitely do that. You can do these two, this one, this one, and this one. So just moving the thread, very easy, just take your time. So I'm putting on, whoops, I'm going to add a bead right in the center there. See how that's going to complete the little point there. So again, just slowly moving through all the beads. Keeping it on the diagonal. These two I can do in a row. They're actually kind of on the diagonal if you look this way and this way. So those two are okay. And then I'm going back to the diagonal here. That's just so thread isn't going to show. Through this one. Through this one. Add your 15-0. Okay. So you're just going to do that all the way around until you've completed this next round. All right, and then meet me back here and we'll continue. Okay, we're done. So I finished my last point, and then I just moved my thread on the diagonal from the front to the side of my bezel so that it's out of the way. And you can keep this thread and the other thread because you can use them both if you like. So you can use one thread to connect the units together and one to embellish the units. So it's, that's up to you. You'll just move it out of the way, one of the threads out of the way if it's in the way when you're doing your embellishment. All right, so get all your pieces done and then meet me back here and we'll start embellishing. Okay, we're back. So I have taken my longer thread and I'm going to use that for the embellishment, and I could probably use the shorter one for connecting. If not, I'll just clip that one off. So here I am, exiting a Delica, and we want to do a little stitch in the ditch, but we want to make sure that we're doing it in the ditch so that we're going to end up coming out of this 15-0 in the corner because we need to add a bead there. So just make sure your line is going to meet this 15-0, all right, where you put your beads on. So here I'm exiting this Delica right here. I'm going to pick up an 11-0 seed bead, sew through the next Delica. Like that. Pick up another 11-0, sew through that 15-0. In the corner, like that. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to pick up a 2mm fire polish bead. I'm going to place that in the corner. I'm going to sew through that next 15-0. Like that. I'm going to continue with my 11-0s now, just stitching in the ditch. So exiting this 15-0, I'm going to sew through this Delica. So I'm just placing a bead, you know, in the spaces between these two Delicas. It's the ditch. 11-0, another 11-0 through that 15-0. Add a fire polish right here, sew through the 15-0, like that. That's what it looks like so far. Just going to continue that all the way around. 11-0 in the ditch, 11-0 in the ditch, 11-0, the ditch, fire polish in the corner, and so on. So meet me at the end and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the end, here's my fire polish in the corner. Add one more 11-0. This stitch, so sew through this Delica and up through this 11-0. That's what I have. Now I'm going to do a little more embellishing, so I'm going to pick up a 3mm bicone, sew through the next 11-0. Going to pick up an 11-0, sew through the next bead, the fire polish, 11-0, through the next 11-0, a bicone, through the next 11-0, a bicone, through the next 11-0, an 11-0, through the fire polish, an 11-0, through the bicone, through the 11-0. So that's what we're going to do all the way around, putting, you know, the two 11-0s in the corners. We've got two bicones on the sides, like that. I'll see you at the end. Okay, we're back and I have 2 units made, and these are the units I'm going to use for my mini bracelet because it's all I had. So I will show you the connection here and the clasp here. However, there are a few options I want to give you. So here is the bracelet as we're going to make it in this tutorial. Here is the earring of the same exact unit, only it's a little bit more embellished. So if you haven't done the earring, I'm going to link the video in the description box below the video, up there, and at the end of the video, so that you can continue embellishing if you want for your bracelet. So you might want to do that. Okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of pieces that I put together. So this would be the difference. So the same exact bezel, just this one's a little bit more embellished than this one. However, when we put the units together, we are going to be connecting through the bicones on the side. So if you are doing this unit as your unit for your bracelet, you know, the more embellished one, you only want to put the this picot, see the little picot between the bicones, on 2 sides. So it's going to be like this, right? So that we can connect all the pieces together and the clasp. So you don't want this little picot here. So you'll just be putting the picot here, and you'll see that on this unit that I did. So you see how I've got a picot here and here and here and here, but nothing down the center. All right, so I just wanted to give you that option, and you know, just in case you want to switch it up. You may not love it this way. You may you know, love it a little more embellished or a little less embellished. You know, you have some options here. So I have my 2 pieces here. And I've left my threads on. And I'm just going to connect right here. Now, one more thing, and I hope you're taking notes. If you want to connect this way, you can do that as well. I'm going to connect it this way, so I'm using the Bicone, 11-0 Bicone. I'm going to put some beads here, connect to this one, put some more beads. So if you want to connect this way, then just use this 11-0 Firepolished 11-0, and you should be able to connect without a problem this way, okay? As far as the connecting sideways with this, you're going to have to play with that too, because you want to make sure that this isn't, you don't want to connect through these little seed beads around the fire polish. So, I mean, I would connect it this way, but, you know, so just leave this off, you know, leave these beads off as well. So many options. I hope that wasn't so confusing. All right. So here we go. I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a Bicone, an 11-0, exiting this little line of 11-0, Bicone, 11-0, Bicone. Just going to sew through the other side. I guess what I meant by all that was play with it and connect it the way you like it, you know, so you can play with it. There's a lot you can do. So here, 11-0, Bicone, 11-0, going through the 3 on the other side. 11-0, Bicone, 11-0, going back through the 3 I started with. If you can't get them all at once, just do them a couple at a time. I'll just show you the thread path. So here is our thread path. Just like that. I'm going to pull that together. I'm going to sew around everything I just did to tighten it up. Back out just a little bit. And you can even connect it without a purl in the middle. And through again. I just want to tighten this up a little bit. I'm going to go through this 11-0 Bicone. 11-0. Now I'm going to pick up my purl. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I'm using the 5mm purl. If you're using a 6mm, then you're going to add an 11-0, a purl on 11-0 to compensate for the larger bead. But I just need to pick up just the 5mm. I'm exiting here, my thread's coming this way. I'm going to sew exactly through the exact same beads on the other side, only from the top down. You see how that sits, that little purl right in there? I mean, in my opinion, I think the 5mm is just perfect. But I know a lot of you don't want to purchase the 5s. I'm just going to sew around again, just to make sure that's well attached. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think that looks really pretty. And then you want to move your thread over to your bezel. So here I'm exiting a Bicone. I'm just going to sew through the 11-0 here. The 2 11-0s. Might need a size 12 beading needle here. And just through some of these beads here. Around the outside, and then sew your threads in, you know, before one of the larger beads. You know, do a few half-hitch knots, and that's what your connection is going to look like. All right, so get that done through all your units, and then meet me back here and we'll put on the clasp. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to put on one end of the clasp. Now, the clasp goes on exactly the same way on both ends. A lot of times with the toggle, you need a longer piece here, but because we have this little unit at the end, you don't really need it. So I'm just going to show you one side. So here I'm exiting a top Bicone here. I'll pull in. I've put a jump ring on my the end of my clasp because I wanted the loop facing this way. Now they have locking jump rings. This is called a jump lock, locking jump ring. And I tried to show you how to do it on camera, but it kept blurring. I couldn't get close enough. So I'll have to work on that and see what we can do for that in the future. But so if you don't have, if your clasp isn't facing the way you want it to face, you can always add a jump ring. So I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a bicone, and an 11-0. I'm going to go through one end of my clasp. Then I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a bicone, and an 11-0. I'm going to go through the 3 that I started with, like that. And then I'm just going to reinforce that all around. And what I like to do is tighten it so that the ring, it just gets, almost gets stuck in between the two 11-0s. So as I go through the beads here, I'm going to pull it really tight once I get through and make sure that let me just get through. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that that ring is sitting right in between the two seed beads. I'm going to pull it really tight, and that way the ring will get trapped in there, and it makes for a nice connection right there. So I'm just going to go around the beads. Oops, don't get caught, like that. Give it a nice pull. And I'm just going to go around all the beads again and sew in my ends and make some half-hitch knots. So shall we look at we're already looking at our little mini. Here's the other mini, and here's actually the finished bracelet. Let me move these guys out of the way a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I gave you a lot of options on how to do this, but everybody has different tastes, and if you can make it to the way you absolutely love it, I'm so happy for you to do that, because we're not all the same. We kind of like different things. All right, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rings coming up. All right, see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.